Check out Paddy's Rewards Club. Place 5 bets of £10 or more across any sport in a week and get a £10 free bet the next week. Paddy Power, you beauty! Max £10 bonus per person per week. Excludes shop bets. Selected odds. Conditions and exclusions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Hello and welcome to this Tuesday anti-post postcast. We're covering the Champion Hurdle. I'm Maddie Plale. We've got Ed Quigley in the studio as well, and also Tom Siegel on the line. We're going to be previewing the Champion Hurdle, which is now just 62 days away. We're going to assess the whole field and ask whether anything can get close to Bouvardere. He looks pretty unbeatable at this stage, and we're going to search for the value further down in the betting and get the lads' best each way shouts in the race. And we're also going to discuss the chances of Faheen and even the possibility of York Hill lining up. So first off, Tom, if we go to you and you can just roll off Paddy Power's prices. I believe they're now no runner, no bet on all festival races as well.
Yeah, I'm putting on my Paddy Power representative hat here, but here we go. Bouvardere 7-4 on. York Faheen is 11-4. York Hill's 4-1. Melon 6-1. 10-1 Deaf Eater Soy. 12-1 Apples Jade, My 10 Tour Yours, and Min, and 20-1 Bar. 16-1 the new one as well. But obviously that's their non-runner no bet prices. You'll obviously get bigger prices around for some of those horses which aren't likely to run.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. If we move now to you, Ed, first, is Bouvardere simply a good thing, do you reckon?
I mean, nothing's ever a good thing at Cheltenham, is it? But he's by far the most likely winner. His price reflects that. I was asked to kind of give it a bit of an anti-post look at this race for the Christmas special in the Racing Post, and I said it looks an absolutely dismal race in terms of quality from an anti-post perspective. I mean, really, it looks thin on quality, and Bouvardere looks a case if he turns up, jumps round, probably does win. It's going to need him to falter or something from left of field to make incredible improvement in the next 9 weeks for Bouvardere not to be winning. And no, I mean, I would make a case he could even be shorter, because if Faheen kind of goes missing at Leopardstown next month and they retire him, you could be looking at a 2-7 shot or whatever. I don't know. I think Bouvardere's right price, most likely winner, and yeah, probably will win.
Okay, Tom, Bouvardere, how would you compare him to sort of other Champion Hurdle winners that we've seen of late? Obviously, he won the race last year. How would you compare him?
I think he's brilliant. I absolutely think he's brilliant. I think he's unfortunate to be lining up against a whole load of, as Ted pointed out there, a whole load of horses that aren't actually that good. But I think he would stand the test of time against any of the Champion Hurdles of the last 10 years. And I actually think he's got better form than Faheen. I know everyone tells me Faheen's the absolute bee's knees, but I think he'd have to improve to beat Bouvardere. I think Bouvardere's better than him. I think the times back that up for when they won their Champion Hurdles. And I think asking Faheen as a 10-year-old to come back and beat Bouvardere is a really, really tough task, especially considering he only got halfway last time before pulling up. I think he's a really good horse. I think he'll win barring a fall, and I think he's by far the best jumper too. So, what's not to like? Okay,
we'll touch on Faheen just a little bit later on, but I want to know who you think are the main rivals to Bouvardere. As Ed said, you'd have to think that something would go wrong for him to be perhaps beaten at this stage, but who's the one that you want to side with, Ed?
Well, I want to side with what is the main dangers. Well, I've been harping on about Melon for a while now. I'll go into a bit more detail later. But, I mean, the big joker in the pack clearly is York Hill. If he lined up, he would have to be a huge danger to be there, considering he's been to 2 Cheltenham festivals, won 2 Grade 1s. But the lads have been joking in the office recently. York Hill will probably end up running in the Mayor's Hurdle. I mean, it's that,
I like that.
He's that kind of horse, and really, God knows where he's going to turn up. Look, I'll just reiterate what I said, to make kind of plausible cases about how the likes of My 10 to Yours or I agree with Tom with Faheen. I mean, definitely De Soy looks gone at the game, and then we're into no man's land. Dangers look, few and far between on paper, and at least with Melon, you've got an unexposed sort tackling Bouvardere, and I see him as possibly the biggest danger.
And Tom, biggest danger for you?
The hurdles are the biggest danger, but I think it'll be exactly the same as last year. I think Nicky Henderson will have the 1-2. I think My 10 to Yours will finish second. I think his run in the International was better than anything he put up prior to Cheltenham last year. I think Henderson is on record of saying he's in better form now than he was last year. He's been second 3 times. Just because he's 11, I think we cast him off. We did the same in the Welsh National at the weekend. See, Pigeon won as 11-year-old. Obviously, it's asking a lot for him to be better than he was. So I can't imagine him beating Bouverdere, but I think he can beat the rest. He's definitely the second best horse in the race on everything they've done over hurdles. So I thought at 16, 14 to 1 or whatever he was this morning, I thought he was a cracking each way bet. But look, are each way bets cracking when you don't think they can win? Probably not. I only like each way bets. If you're taking away the win part, then it's probably not a great bet. Any each way bet is not a great bet, but I do think he's going to run his race, isn't he? He's done it so many times before. He was second last year. He was second at Punches Down. He was second in a Supreme. What more do you want? He's going to run his race. I think he'll finish second again.
Okay, nicely summed up. We've touched on Forheen briefly, but I want to go back there now because it's a really strange scenario, isn't it? He was so impressive in the Morgiana and he just showed absolutely nothing last time. Pulled up. I think Rich Ritchie immediately after gave the impression, oh, we won't ask anything more of him, he's done enough. And now they're saying, oh, well, we'll see how we go. And apparently he's come out of it fine and they've found nothing wrong with him. So Forheen, Ed, A, does he turn up? And B, what's your assessment of him?
I couldn't back him in. I couldn't have him on my mind for a champion hurdle at the age of 10. We're 9 weeks away from the race. He's going to run at Leopardstown next month by all accounts, on the back of being pulled up. But will he run? It literally all hinges around what happens in 3 weeks' time at Leopardstown, doesn't it? If he bombs out again, that'll be it. He'll be retired and disappear into the sunset. If he shows his old verve and wins again, then at least he puts himself in the race. But I couldn't entertain him as a champion hurdle winner at the age of 10 on the back of what we've just seen. And yeah, he did look very good on his comeback in beating probably below par Jeski. What you want to make of that form is up to you, but there just comes a time with all horses where they don't want to do it anymore, and Father Time may just be creeping up with him. And definitely, I couldn't have him at all for a champion hurdle. Yeah, and Tom, you think even if Forheen was back to his best, you'd still be on Bouverdere. So maybe if he wins, it'll get you a better price on Bouverdere. What's your analysis of the situation?
I think so. I mean, we're talking about, as Ted said there, we're talking about a 10-year-old against a young up-and-coming, still getting better as far as I can see, Bouverdere. He's a 7-year-old. I would always back the younger horse against the older one. I think even if he wins the race, I think you might put the nail on the head. I think he will make Bouverdere a better price, and we can all get stuck into Bouverdere at maybe 5 to 4 on instead of 7 to 4 on if Forheen comes back. But I like Forheen. Forheen's has been a tremendous horse over the years, hasn't he? But it's asking a lot for a horse that was off for a year and a half or whatever he was off, and then didn't even get to halfway in a bad race last time before being pulled up. Suddenly come and win a champion hurdle. Look, if he was a 25 to 1 shot, we could all sit there and have a few quid on and hope that he came back. But you're talking 11 to 4 here with Paddy Power, non-runner, no bet. And for me, that's just a no-no. Yeah. Okay, well, before we go for a quick break, we're going to talk about York Hill. He is the enigma, as you've touched on, Ed, already. What a chance have we got that he turns up in a champion hurdle, do we reckon? I know a lot of people have said he's been wrongly campaigned all this time. He never should have gone over fences. He never should have gone beyond 2 miles. He's pure speed, and that's why people think he's so quirky. Do you think he could put it up to Bouverdere, Tom, if he was to go for the race? He's got a lot of talent. He's definitely got a lot of talent. Obviously, he's a dual Cheltenham Festival winner. Do I think he could beat Bouverdere? Probably not. I've not seen anything to suggest that he could win a champion hurdle. I mean, he's a very good horse. I personally don't think there's any chance he'll run in the race. Okay. I could be completely wrong. Forheen could blow out. Mellon could get injured or whatever, and they'll opt. But it's just so un-Willie Mullins-like to, I think he'll run over fences next again over 2 miles or 2.5 or something. And my guess is they'll have him earmarked for the Ryanair, probably. And that's where they'll go. But if he turns up, is he a 4 to 1? I see he's 4 to 1 non-runner no bet. I think that's a bad price too. Even if he turns up, does he win a champion hurdle at 4 to 1? I wouldn't back him at that. I'd want double that to back him. But he's a good horse, and he would provide a great another aspect to a race that there isn't much strength in depth in. And would he be the biggest danger? Probably he would, yeah. He probably, with his potential and his Cheltenham form, I'd make him the biggest danger to Bouverdere, but I can't see him winning myself. What did you make of his comeback run over fences in the Christmas chase? He was just too keen, wasn't he? He was just too keen, too free. He jumped okay, I thought. I thought he jumped okay. I don't have these doubts about him jumping that everyone else seems to have. I thought he jumped really well in the JLT, was it, last year? I think he's just clearly got to go left-handed, isn't he? I mean, he can't jump right-handed. But even if you take his form at Punchestown, was it? Or Leopardstown afterwards, or Fairy House afterwards, when he got touched off by Road to Respect. That looks a little bit better now than it did at the time.
Yeah.
It's still very high-class form. I think don't think you can knock the form of him as a chaser. I think last time he was just first time up, soft ground, too keen, clearly just didn't get home. Simple as that. I think he's worth another chance over fences. I wouldn't give up on him over fences by any means.
Okay, and Ed, York Hill, if he turned up, do you think he's going to turn up in a champion hurdle? Where would he figure?
Well, William Manders said today he's going to have entries in the Champion Chase, the Ryanair and the Champion Hurdle, isn't he? If he turns up, he's got to be a huge player. He's been to 2 Cheltenham festivals and won twice at the highest level, where he'd be by a mile the biggest danger to Bavudere. But again, it's just this whole race from an anti-post perspective is a real head scratcher. So many ifs, so many buts, and you've just got one high-class performer who's just mopping up everything beyond him in the division. It's just our human nature, isn't it? We always want to look for something more appealing elsewhere, but the straightforward answer is, Bavudere is probably the most likely winner, and as I said, the dangers are looking few and far between, although I will state my case for Mellon in a minute.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy to think, people were talking, we said before we went live that York Hill was a Gold Cup prospect, and then all of a sudden now he's potentially running in a champion hurdle. There's not too many horses you could say that about. We'll go for a quick break now, and then we'll get the lads' best each way value in the race.
Check out Paddy's Rewards Club. Place 5 bets of £10 or more across any sport in a week and get a £10 free bet the next week. Paddy Power, you beauty! Max £10 bonus per person per week. Excludes shop bets. Selected odds. Conditions and exclusions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Welcome back to this anti-post postcast where we're covering the champion hurdle. We've spoke about Bavudere, we've spoke about all sorts, York Hill, Fuheen and the rest of it. Now we're going to get the lads' best each way value in the race. Ed, kick us off.
Well, look, I totally take Tom's point of view with my 10 to yours being 16s as opposed to Mellon 8s. Arguably, why should it be twice the price? And obviously, I've been asked this question twice throughout the season about Mellon, and I was like, well, he's the value at 25s. I was like, well, he's still the value at 16s. Is he the value at around 6, 7 to 1? I'm not so sure now. But to be honest with you, I disagree with Tom in the sense that I see him, he's unexposed, he's improving. He's the only horse in here who's potentially on an upward trajectory. I just think, look, he's only had 5 starts in his life over hurdles. He's essentially still a novice hurdler in all but name.
Yeah.
There'll be horses lining up in the Supreme and the Neptune who've run more times over hurdles than him. And I do think, looking back at that international, let's not forget, he was trying to give £6 to my 10 to yours that day. The race was just not run to suit at all. They went a cruel, it turned into a dash, and my 10 to yours, a horse who's always had a good turn of foot, shall we say, kind of just did him in a sprint for the line. I do think back on the old course, in a strongly run race on good ground, we'll see Mellon in a much better light. And I said, he's the only unexposed type in here who could still have more to offer. You like to think he's going to be better than a mark of 159 in time. And, so ratings suggesting he's got to prove about another £8 to £10 to get in the mix. He's improved 7 since the start of the season. I don't think it's inconceivable he could step up another £7 or £8 to get in the mix. So I'm not mad keen on him at 8 to 1, but I've got vested interest from early in the season, so I'm kind of a bit torn now as to whether he's a bet at this stage. But he's going to run in the race. He's being aimed at the race, and a race with so many doubts about horses that might be gone, might not be gone, might not run. At least he's going to turn up by all accounts. It could cut up to a really small field, and I think he will run a really good race. So I think he's the solid each way one. I'm struggling to see how three horses beat him in what I think will be a small field if they will make it to the race on the day.
Yeah, I said to you before, I'm in agreement, I'm a Mellon fan, that I've never seen a horse run so keen around Cheltenham as he was in the International, and providing he learns to settle. He's got the talent, I think he just needs to put it all together, and like you say, we can forgive him it because he's so inexperienced. And I thought his jumping was really nice as well in that race. So he clearly has the talent. He just needs to step up. Tom, your best each way selection, you're going to go with my 10 to yours?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, I get your points about Mellon. It's just price.
Sorry, could I just say what price? 6 to 1.
6 to 1 with Paddy Power now. You know what I mean? It's hardly only just get your money back if you back him now. So for me, considering he's got £10 to find and he's 6 to 1. He's never won a good race, has he?
That's my point now. Yeah, it's like the price. He's kind of priced as I kind of thought he would be a couple of months. Right? Yeah,
like won good races and he hasn't. Now he might do. I fully agree with everything you guys say about him being the potential's there, but I don't like backing potential horses at 6 to 1. I like backing potential horses at 25 to 1, which it sounds, Ted, like you've got. So that's
yeah, but I'm win only, so I'm going to rip the slip up now anyway. So.
He's not for me. Listen, I think there'll be 10 runners, top whack.
Oh,
Top whack.
max of 10, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking for one of those handicappers to come in. I thought Nicky Henderson had a couple of interesting ones there.
Yeah.
The one that won Saturday, Call Me Lord.
Yeah.
I thought he was really impressive. Now he says he's got to go right-handed, and therefore there's a big issue for him. But he's going to run him in the Betfair Hurdle first. If he won the Betfair Hurdle, he'd be probably 10-1 in a race like this. And the other one is his mare, Verdana Blue. I love mares in championship races. I think they get far too much weight. She's getting £7. Now, she's only rated 145, 146, but I think she probably should have gone very close in that Ascot handicap the other day. She was ridden right round the outside, Buffalo Girls style, and never was given a chance in the race. She's 50-1. Henderson said yesterday when we phoned him up to do this preview, don't forget Verdana Blue. We're going to enter Verdana Blue. And he said that without prompting. He mentioned her straight off the bat. She's going to run in the Champion Hurdle. And I just thought that was quite interesting. We're talking about, Mullins and Henderson have won 7 of the last 9. It's very unlikely, looking at the race here, they're going to dominate it again. If you get a Nicky Henderson horse running for you at 50-1 at the moment, I think you're probably on a winner to begin with. Now, of course, she's got masses to find, but she's 50-1 and getting £7. And if there's 8 runners, I could see her hitting the frame, hitting the 3 or 4, and 50-1's a good price. But look, in normal champion hurdles, she wouldn't be anywhere good enough. But as you pointed out, Maddie, there's not many horses you can fancy here.
Okay, just clarify the price of your selection, my 10 or yours, Tom.
I think he's 12-1 at the moment with Paddy Power, but obviously there's non-runner, no bet. That's what I'd take. I think at this stage of the year, I think there might be a bit bigger around in the village, but you might as well take the 12s because you get your money back when he doesn't turn up or if something goes wrong. Yeah.
And it was interesting. You mentioned Call Me Lord. I actually had a look at those quotes as well, and he seemed like Nicky Henderson was quite impressed, for what this horse has done, wasn't he?
Well, he was. He was really good, wasn't he? I mean, that second horse is an exceptionally progressive horse.
Merlin.
He gave him 2 stone. And he absolutely thrashed him. Now, his best run last year was at Sandown too, so he's clearly, Nicky Henderson thinks there's an issue with him going the other way round. Look, we've got a chance to see him again in the Betfair Hurdle, so you can pay your money, you take your chance sort of thing. But I think non-runner, no bet. If he blows out in the Betfair Hurdle because he's going the wrong way round, then he's not going to run anyway, so you get your money back. But if you're backing him now at 33-1 non-runner, no bet, he might easily go and win that, and then you're on a horse with a definite chance. Yeah.
Okay. And before we move on, is there any name that we haven't already mentioned that you think could run a big race, Tom?
Yeah, Wicklow Brave could run all right.
Yeah.
He won the Punchestown race last year, didn't he? I think he was first time blinkers that day. I think they're planning on putting blinkers back on him. He's a Group 1 winner on the flat beat. What's he called? Order of St. George, didn't he, in the Irish St. Leger 1 year? He's a former county hurdle winner. If he settles, he's a bit quirky. He sometimes doesn't start and he can be too keen. But he's got a lot of ability. He didn't run too badly in the Melbourne Cup this year.
He ran well in the race last year off a big layoff, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He came there cruising at the last and didn't quite get home. The problem is he can be keen and he can miss the start. He missed the start again last year.
Okay, I think we might have lost Tom, Ed, so I'll go to you.
Yeah, there's nothing else left to field here, really. I don't particularly fancy Ping Shu, but by all accounts, they're going to try and get that horse to the race. I think we were talking before we came on air, definitely be a horse for fences next season. Ping Shu, a really big, physically imposing type. But no, I don't want to get this off to start by being all boring, but it really, at this stage now, it's very uninspiring, and it's almost a no-bet race at this point because, I mean, where do you go with it? It really is hard to try and tip something now as the market is currently lining up.
Okay, well, we're going to go for another quick break. Hopefully, we'll have Tom back when we're back, but we're going to discuss your idea of the winner when we get back.
Check out Paddy's Rewards Club. Place 5 bets of £10 or more across any sport in a week and get a £10 free bet the next week. Paddy Power, you beauty! Max £10 bonus per person per week. Excludes shop bets. Selected odds. Conditions and exclusions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Okay, welcome back to this anti-post postcast. Now, this is going to be sort of a quick fire. We're going to get your idea of the winner, your best bet, and then your big race, 1, 2, 3 in the race. Go for it, Ed.
Which you want first?
Your idea of the winner, presumably Bouverdare.
Bouverdare, yeah, Bouverdare. My idea of the betting race, I loathe him at the price now, but I've been a Mellon fan all season, so I think Mellon's the only one who's going to give Bouverdare a race here, providing York Hill doesn't line up.
Okay, and your big race 1, 2, 3.
We'll go Buvudere number 1. I think Mellon will chase him home, and My 10 to Yours will race the ambulance for 3rd place.
Nicely done. Have we got Tom there? I'm not sure we have.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Ah, you're back. You're back. Brilliant, Tom.
I never left.
Okay, your idea of the winner, Tom?
Buvudere will win, definitely. Yep. Well, I've nailed my colours to the My 10 to Yours mast. I don't think he can beat Buvudere, but I think he can be second again. And as I say, the one I would throw in there as a long shot to maybe hit the frame would be the mare Verdana Blue. It could be a 1, 2, 3 for Nicky Henderson. How about that?
Okay, brilliant. I know we've got all sorts of Paddy Power specials. What odds have we got on him winning every single championship race, Tom? I know you had them in front of you just to mention.
I've got right here in front of me almost 200 to 1, whiwhich is quite a big price, that, I thought.
Yeah.
Because he's got Altior, he's got Might Bite, he's got the what's he called, Buvudere,
yeah,
and then you're throwing. You mean that's the weak one is the Stayers Hurdle, but Lammy Surge is not out.
Go on the Lammy, go on the Lammy.
Not by any stretch of the imagination, is he? I know Ted's quite keen on him. I thought that 201 was quite a big price, really.
Yeah. I must admit, I thought that. Any other specials you want to quickly mention just before we go?
Buvudere Forheen Reverse Forecast 5 to 4 non-runner no bet.
Yep.
You can have English 1, 2, 3 in the Champion Hurdle 5 to 1. I thought that was quite interesting. If I know you Mellon fans probably won't like to hear it, but I thought that wasn't totally ridiculous. And my old pal, My Tent to finish second again is 8 to 1.
Ooh.
You'd be shaking a bit of that?
No, I think I'm quite happy to. I don't mind. I think I'd probably rather have 14 to 1 for him to finish in the 3 and the win bit as well.
Yeah. Okay, fair play. Well, that should about do us then. I think Buvudere is the one we're all thinking is going to win the Champion Hurdle. Bruce is going to be back on Friday with the weekend tipping postcast, so join us then. And don't forget to rate and subscribe to the postcast on iTunes.
Check out Paddy's Rewards Club. Place 5 bets of £10 or more across any sport in a week and get a £10 free bet the next week. Paddy Power, you beauty! Max £10 bonus per person per week. Excludes shop bets. Selected odds. Conditions and exclusions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.